Let's first get the thoughts of one of Mr. Netanyahu's predecessors. Ehud Olmert is the former Prime Minister of Israel, who led his country during the 22-day war with Gaza in 2008-2009. Mr. Olmert, great to have you back on the programme. Thank you very much indeed for talking to us tonight. Your response, sir, if you would, to the announcement today from Keir Starmer.
Well, it wasn't a big surprise, I believe. It was kind of anticipated. What I understand is that this is a conditional statement, depending on whether the war will end before September. I very much hope that the war will indeed end before, just because I think it has to end immediately, now, any minute.
It's a way for the UK government to try to use whatever leverage it has left over Benjamin Netanyahu. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm not an expert on the British foreign policy, but it looks like Prime Minister Starmer was not enthusiastic about having to make that decision, but he feels perhaps that under the circumstances there is no other way to influence the Israeli government to do what he believes Israel needs to do. And one thing I entirely agree with, that we have to end the war right now, immediately.
Will this help achieve that, Mr. Olmert? Will this influence the Netanyahu government in any way, do you think?
I very much hope so. I mean, it's already joining the statement made by President Macron and the other leaders across Europe. I'm not certain, though. I'm not certain because I heard that the Prime Minister is discussing now in the Security Cabinet the option of expanding the war and moving forward to what he considers as a total victory, which I don't think will ever be achieved as he defines it. So I don't know. I'm afraid that the Prime Minister is still very much captive of the messianic groups in the cabinet, the Ben Kentish, Smotrich and their partners, and they threatens to topple the government if the Prime Minister will decide to end the war or to continue to provide the humanitarian needs of Palestinians living in Gaza.
It's not the likes of Keir Starmer that Benjamin Netanyahu relies on for his power. It's the extremists in his own government. I note tonight that he says that the actions of Britain today are a gift to Hamas, a reward for its terrorism, Mr. Olmert. I wonder if you agree.
Entirely not. Look, I think that this is really disgusting to even think that one can call Prime Minister Starmer a supporter of terror. Great Britain, together with France, were fighting against the Iranian ballistic missiles when they were shot at Israel. And they supported us and they participated in the defense of the state of Israel. So to call a Starmer a supporter of terror is absolutely disgusting.
If I were to put it to you that this is another example of Benjamin Netanyahu trashing and jettisoning Israel's alliances and risking turning his country, your country, into effectively a pariah state, what would you say?
When I just hear the comments coming from every capital in Europe and from America, including senior members of the Republican Party in America, which was consistently in favor of the war and in favor of the Israeli government. I mean, there is no other conclusion that I can reach but that we are losing ground everywhere, which is absolutely heartbreaking.
Losing support.
The kind of Israel that I am part of, and this is not what the majority of Israelis now want to be in.
This has obviously been prompted by global concern, I would say, shock, outrage, horror about the situation in Gaza. Benjamin Netanyahu, of course, Mr. Olmert, insisting again today that there is no famine in Gaza. Do you accept that, or is he lying?
Look, it's impossible to accept this judgment. 5 presidents of the most important Israeli universities issued a signed statement yesterday, accusing the government of Israel of starving Gaza. They are not enemies of Israel. They are not members of foreign governments. They are essential part of what used to be the strengths and the power of the state of Israel, the academic community, the presidents of the universities. And they have reached that conclusion because they see what I see and what you see and what Starmer sees, which is something terrible taking place in Gaza. Now, I'm certain that Hamas is making their provocations in order to make the supply of the humanitarian needs more difficult, and they are probably also responsible for some of the fighting that is taking place and the shooting and the killing of Palestinians. But I'll tell you what I read. Tom Friedman is writing today in the New York Times. He said, this is the same Israel that only a month ago, or slightly more than a month ago, was so powerful in surprise Iran 1,200 miles from the state of Israel and eliminate some of its senior citizens and military commanders in their homes accurately. So is this Israel that is unable to provide food for the Palestinians in a territory which is entirely controlled by the Israeli army?
And where people are now starving. I wonder just finally, Mr. Olmert, how, as a proud Israeli, as a former Prime Minister of Israel, how that makes you feel?
I'm ashamed. I'm just ashamed. But I want to take this opportunity to draw your attention to something which is taking place, which is equally terrible. And this is the atrocious Hilltop Youth provocations and attacks against Palestinians in the West Bank. Just yesterday, Palestinian was shot at his head by one of those young guys, which are supported by the partners of the government in the coalition, Ben Kentish and Smotrich, which are supported, or at least are not taken care of by the Israeli police and the Israeli army. And yesterday, the guy that said that he was shooting this guy in his head, who was not involved in any terrorist action or any provocative action, was released to a house detention by the Israeli local authorities.
It's an important reminder that it's not just Gaza where these events, these atrocities, I think many people would say, are being committed. Thank you very much indeed for talking to us. Ehud Olmert, former Prime Minister of Israel, who led the country during its 22-day war in Gaza in 2008.